you among 15,000 of our closest friends here at Rapid in Detroit. Thanks for taking some time to sit with us today. So our conversation today is going to focus on sustainability and additive manufacturing industry, and each of you have a leadership role in that and are very passionate about it, I know. So we are very interested in hearing from you. I'm going to kick it off with Avi Reichental. Avi is the CEO and founder of Nexa3D, and I have Ms. Rosa Coblens, who is the VP of Sustainability with Stratasys. So thanks,
Excited
guys.
to be here.
Yes.
It's good to be here.
Thank you. Avi, would you start off and talk to me a little bit about your feelings on sustainability and additive manufacturing?
So, for me, it's a little bit personal. I shared it a few times now. I have been working on sustainability projects for about a decade now. First with the X Prize Foundation, and then with Nexa3D. In the beginning, it was all about data and doing good, until I experienced firsthand, living in the central coast of California, what happens with the unintended consequences of not taking care of the environment and sustainability during the Thomas Fire. So to make a long story short, for Nexa, digitizing supply chain sustainably is our North Star. And it has to do with systematically looking at how we deal with it internally within the company in terms of taking the right actions to be more sustainable as a business. But moreover, to look at design thinking with circular economy in mind, both in terms of the products that we make and sell, like the new Zip desktop printer that we're introducing here at Rapid, but also what can we do to empower our community, our constituents, our customers, by giving them the right tools so that they would understand the carbon footprint impact in every design and manufacturing decision that they make. So that's kind of where we come from. And
simple.
Yeah, simple. Exactly. What else is there to say about it?
Yeah, that's right. Empowering others to...
Yeah, and look, here's the deal, right? I mean, all of a sudden, the combination of global warming and supply chain crisis is placing our industry kind of at the heart of this huge challenge to humanity and the planet. And the risk is that we either intentionally or unintentionally greenwash it, in the sense that we jump to the head of the parade. Because additive on the surface is inherently sustainable, that we begin to take license with an awesome responsibility that we will still have to be stewards of a decade from now. And so, I mean, it's really good to sit here with Rosa, because Stratasys has been taking a leadership role here as well. And we need to be mature about it. We need to be thorough about it. This is not about quick gains, and it's certainly not about commercial gains, although I firmly believe that, if you do the right things, commercial success will follow anyway. But it's about doing this comprehensively. It's about doing it methodically. It's about doing it collaboratively, because there is no single company in the world that can solve this or crack the code by themselves alone.
Yes.
So I'm hoping, to me, my call to action is, there's no question that we're going to do this and work together. My hope is that we'll be just as excited about it 5 years from now, and you will interview us again, and that it's not some kind of a flash in the pan.
Challenge accepted on that one. And so, Rosa, Stratasys is a global leader in FDM printing, and many other things.
Polymers.
Polymers. And I know when I think about 3D printing, at the earliest stages of 3D printing, I think about the Stratasys patents and all that came from that. and how the revolution kicked off when your patents expired.
Yeah.
And you know, hobbyists and others got really interested and intrigued by it and started innovating like crazy. So, fast forward to today, and I know that you just put out your first sustainability report for Stratasys in March?
End of April.
End of April, okay. How can you share what this moment means for Stratasys and where your vision is?
Happily. So I'll piggyback on what Avi said. I grew up in California. So it's maybe something, you know, on the West Coast. But I think what Avi spoke about the climate action and climate change. During COVID, I was pregnant. And, you know, I spoke to our, at the time, new CEO, Yoav Zeif. And I said, when I come back from my maternity leave, you know, sustainability has to be number one on the table. And when he came to the company, you know, we had this large global crisis and pandemic. And Yoav was laser focused on the strategy for the company, because you know the early stages of Stratasys, but you know the vision was to move into manufacturing in a big way. And from what you know of the technology today, it really had matured to a place where the lots of industries were ready to adopt it, which wasn't the case. It was like the perfect storm, because COVID could suddenly explain to the market this great climate advantages and value proposition of 3D printing for all the companies. Because suddenly, you know, the skies closed, and you could send a file when you couldn't send, ship a shipment of products. And so people were printing locally masks for hospitals and, you know, protective equipment. And suddenly this sustainable value proposition was like, you know, everybody understood it and could adopt it. So what we did at Stratasys, as we set our strategy together with Yoav, we call it our North Star. And our strategy basically had foundations on we have a purpose for the company, and it came bottom up from our employees, an economical, personalized, and sustainable world. We're going to help people create unlimited, which is what the technology does, but we're going to do it in a sustainable way. So it wasn't greenwashing. It came from our developers. You know, these are people 30 years in the industry. You know them personally. So they were passionate about it. And I'll talk about the patents as well. We look at our patent portfolio, and some of the patents that we have thousands,
yes.
Over 1,000, weren't relevant in the previous 3D printing cycle, and now they're very relevant. So,
yes.
you know, it's just it's a different way to look at how our technology brings value in the next wave of additive manufacturing. I really believe that.
You know, the thing I feel coming off of you is that this issue is a way of being for you.
Yes.
It isn't about selling more, though it may have that impact. It's about something you deeply care about and communicating that to others. If I could ask you, if there's one thing you want others to come away from this conversation with about sustainability and what it means, what would that be?
Well, for me, it means that the insides have to match the outside, because this kind of care that is entrusted in us as an industry is to live something sustainable in the future. And it's about attracting, like Rosa said, it's about attracting kindred spirits, whether it's fellow employees and teammates, whether it's your friends and neighbors or your customers or your partners. We all have an awesome responsibility to take care of the environment that we live in. And I mean, look, technology over the last few hundred years caused some of the challenges that we have to solve.
Yeah.
Our technology, our industry's technology can solve it, right? And it's going to happen by collaboration. In fact, I said yesterday at another meeting, which I think we shared together, that for Nexa3D, anything that we discover about waste reduction, about solventless post-processing, about support minimization, about reduction in energy input, we're going to open source. Because we don't think that it's a winning idea to keep it only to ourselves, because by ourselves we're not going to be able to move the needle. We need everybody.
Co-opetition.
Yes, but competition in the sense that,
Yeah.
I mean, if we can mainstream this into manufacturing, I'm happy not just for Stratasys to collaborate, for everybody to collaborate. And I think if we had more Rosas and more Yoavs out there, the world will be a better place. So that's kind of how I look at it.
It truly does come from the DNA at Stratasys. It's not a poster for us. We have roadmaps for each of our 5 technologies. You can read our sustainability report. It's basically, it's 95 pages. We'll have an executive summary soon. But we open the doors to our company because our strategy is not a sustainability one, it's an ESG one. So it touches upon the environment, the social, and the governance, how we run our companies, how we treat the people in our supply chain, and all of our human capital. These are just as important as the environmental pieces of our products. So I just really love this model. We call it at Stratasys mindful manufacturing. We trademarked it because we really believe that this is the message for all of the players. We also want to collaborate on this. That if we can take traditional manufacturing and stop for a minute and rethink it, that there's a lot of value maybe already even before you get to the recycling and the output, on the input side. So we really want to impact that together with all of the big players.
You know what this is about, guys? This is about manufacturing freedom.
Yeah.
And being responsive and responsible and mindful. Thank you so much for your leadership. And I know this isn't the last time we're going to talk about this, so have a great show today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.